Grand Rising, chosen divine beings. It's your girl Ocean Messenger. Hoping you're having a supreme grand rising. In the prayer box, as you see, I am lifting up traveling protection for all of us, for the whole divine collective, as we have gang stalkers lurking about, following and gawking and stalking, and mocking. So I'm just lifting us all up, especially those of us that have children, because it's not a good feeling or comfortable situation when you are a mama or papa bear and your first priority is making sure your little cubs are safe. And that's something that these demonic entities do not care about, because at the end of the day, they serve themselves. They're greedy. And right now, they're very willing to do anything to gain what they seek and what they seem to benefit them. So I'm just lifting us all up, and especially our babies. Just know that the Most High, that our ancestors, and also a whole bunch of our archangels, because there's more than a lot of people may think. We have Michael, of course. We have Metatron. We have Gabriel. We have Uriel. We have Israel. And there's many more that I am still learning about, that I am still trying to pronounce. But just know that we are protected on all sides and at all costs. I had a couple encounters myself yesterday. It happens every other day, if not every day. And so, I was almost ran off the road by those big old Ram trucks with the little men inside. And it's always swivel time on my head when it comes to my booskies when we go to the park. So I had an encounter there as well yesterday. And so, just stay highly, highly on alert right now, because people are desperate and taking desperate measures. And we all just need to keep each other in thought and in prayer as they pray on us. Let's see what's going on with the energy, you guys. Shuffle these cards. I already feel it in the energy. A lot of exhaustion, I would say, from both sides, from Karmicville and from the Divine Collective right now. These energy vampires, they're really, really trying it. And, just keep letting them do their big one, I guess. They just don't learn. So, the Most High is going to have to teach them a very hard lesson. Just know that our ancestors are very proud of us, because we are conquering, breaking chains from things that they weren't able to carry out when they were here. I'm going to let a bunch of these fly today. And read it how I read it. As I said before, I'm kind of new in the game of tarot reading, but I read it my way, and that's just how it is right now. So I get together with more of the divine tribe that can guide and help me learn, as I'm a teachable teacher. Alright, that should be enough for that. You flip these over, however they come up is how they come up. Alright, First card out, we have the Four of Cups. So as I said, a lot of people that were trying to come up after us, they're now going through missed opportunities. They're feeling bored because, they're bored and we're bored as well because the game is getting very, very old. They're dissatisfied because there's no forward movement in their plots and plans. They're unmotivated at this time because, like I said, they're exhausted. They're depressed, reluctant, and weary. That's exactly what I said. And that's exactly how they're sitting there looking like they're pouting and not getting their way. And yep, that's what's going on with them. Second card in the downright, High Priestess. Disconnected, withholding, suppressed intuition, secrets, missing information, isolation, kept in the dark. So for a lot of us, we're dealing with the feminine energies out there who proclaim to be high priestesses. As you can see, this high priestess is in the downright. Looks like she's been working with the moon. Looks like she's been trying to manifest and bring in new creative ideas as far as plots and plans. She has been keeping people in the dark, being secretive, misinforming people, isolating people to gain more, as they think, power and control over the situation. But as you see, everything is in the downright, and it looks like the moon is shining on everything that has been kept in the dark. Correct for us, and I didn't do this with the other card, but I will for you guys that are high priests out there, high priestesses. We are forming a bridge between worlds, to new worlds, I would say, because people from our past have completely destroyed, burnt, and dismantled the bridges that we had with them. So we're forming new bridges, and as I said earlier, looking forward to joining with more divine tribe that will guide me along my new path as far as my calling and being a messenger. Like I said, we're continuing to be divine feminines. We are holding sacred wisdom, moving in silence. We have an inner knowing of everything that is going in and around us. We're taking a deep dive. Yes, we are. A lot of us, it took a lot of courage to come up out of isolation, come up out of situations that were meant to keep us trapped in order to basically take us out. As you see, she's holding the moon as if she's pregnant with it, and it's shining illumination, not only illumination to what's going on, but illumination to her inner self, her higher self. The moon also carries mysteries, for it has a dark side and a light side. The moon also holds a lot of intuition and feelings. As you can see, she looks very calm. There is a very calming presence about the moon at night, and even in the daytime when the skies are blue, you can see the moon, and it's just that inner knowing and understanding that you are loved and you're protected, and no matter what these demonic entities have going on in the dark, there's always the sun shining on that moon to project light in the darkness. I'll go back to this card. On the flip side of the Four of Cups, we have self-awareness. We're proactive, focused, engaged. We have new enthusiasm for life as we have come out of the darkness and in isolation. We're showing gratitude, as I said in the beginning of this message, giving gratitude for another day to be better, to better ourselves. We're re-engaging with ourselves and with our babies, if you have babies, especially if you got your babies out of the toxic situations that you were going through. And salute to you for doing that, because at the end of the day, a lot of people have old ways of thinking, excuse my neighbor's alarm, but confirmation, I would say. Like I was saying, a lot of us, it took courage for us to come out of those situations and to get our babies out of those situations. And a lot of people have old school ways of thinking, as to say, you know, um, death do us part, doesn't matter if you're going through abuse, it doesn't matter if you're being treated wrong, it doesn't matter if you're being Ten of Swords at the end of the day. No, you're supposed to stick around and take all that abuse. No, that's not what we're doing anymore. And by doing that, we're able to, like I said, re-engage with a whole brand new self and awareness and surroundings. And because of that, we're also able to seize our days. I shall. I'm gonna put these all in the upright because we want positivity. We don't want the negativity from Karmicville. Next card that is in the downright, Page of Cups. Those are the young energies, immature energies. Doesn't matter how old somebody is, they can still be set in childish ways. Because of that, they can be manipulative, they can get obsessive, they have inner child wounds. And because of that, right now, because of their immaturity and wanting to go hard to the paint, as in coming after us, when we're just trying to stay in our lanes and be our own creative selves, now they're having creative block. At the end of the day, most of them were just copycats. They were just feeding off of our energy and pretending to be us at the end of the day. And so now because of that, everything for them has been canceled. All those triumphs that they thought they were going to get off of our backs and off of our success and off of inheritances and off of wills and trust funds and this, that, and the other, that a lot of us didn't even know we had. Because of that, everything is canceled for them. There will be no new beginnings, no growing, no reunions, no any of that. And for them, yeah, broken dreams. I see Cancer and Scorpio in here for sure, for sure. Yep. On the flip side, let me not forget, for us, we're feeling youthful, feeling like we're able to finally relive and pursue dreams that we've had, some of us since childhood. We're being idealists. We're naive, but in a good way, not in a blind way, but in a inner child way. Some of us are having the psychic inner voices, and that is very true for a lot of us seers and empaths. We are listening to our inner voice because of that as well. A lot of us are going to be receiving romantic gestures and love offers in multiple facets, not just romantic, but new love and partnerships and new love for adventures and pursuits, new love, just all the way around. And the most important, the love offer from the Most High, whose love is infinite. We are beautiful. There's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be some romance. Might have some messages coming in here soon, maybe from hidden hidden pursuits. We're spiritual, and because of that, like I said, a lot of people are spiritual haters. So because of that, we get attacked a lot. And if you're not having the devil nip at your heels, you must not be doing something right. So don't let that hinder your spirit. Just know that you are on the right path. A lot of us, like I said, we're musical, artistic, and because we have escaped those who would like to keep us in a creative block, now we're able to flourish and be divinely orchestrated. Rachel? Eight of Swords, self-entrapment. So this would be in the downright for them. They're having negative thoughts, doom and gloom, drama queen, hands tied, paralyzed, crisis. Yeah, that was what I was saying, especially for a lot of feminine energy. And feminine energy can go both ways. You can have a big, bad, tough, proclaimed strong guy, and at the end of the day, they're just not even a cowardly lion, they're just a cowardly kitten, you know? So Karmicville right now is in negative thoughts, doom and gloom, like it says. They're filled with drama. A lot of people are addicted to karma. Some people, that's all that they know, that's all that they've ever known. Their families are filled with drama. Those that they associate themselves are filled with drama. And so it's kind of like an obsessive addiction to being surrounded by toxicity. Right now, a lot of people's hands are going to be tied physically and spiritually. Physically, a lot of people, for their evil intents and for their evil pursuits coming after us, they will be in handcuffs and in chains, and they will not have any more connection hand wise trying to come up after us. A lot of them are feeling paralyzed spiritually, and I won't go there physically because, you know, the Most High has the Most High's plans. A lot of them are facing crisis, and I'm sure that they are because their plans and plots didn't go as they thought they were going to go. So they're feeling in self imprisonment in the spiritual realms right now. They are under judgment, and they're not able to see any way out. As you see in the background, even though the lighthouse, aka Divine Chosen Collective, even though that lighthouse is shining through, looks like a storm in the background. Miss Lady over here is completely got the veil over her eyes still, and she's stuck in the storm. You see, she's in the waves right now. So, you know, it sucks to be them right now. On the flip side, on the upright for us, we are releasing limited beliefs. We're gaining mental strength. We are knowing that it is up to us. And that is so true. It's a really important thing to know that, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of people get in this romantic mindset that, you know, they're going to have Prince Charming come and save them and, you know, help get them out of their predicament. But at the end of the day, it's all about self-reliance and self-perseverance. And at the end of the day, we're not supposed to really depend on anybody else but the Most High and ourselves and our spirit team. And so right now, we are taking back our power and relying on self before we rely on others to come and save and abet, I guess you would say. Because of us taking our power back, we are setting ourselves free. We're escaping chains meant to keep us bound. Yeah, they don't want me to get this out. Let me take a drink of water, y'all. So mad. Big mad. That's all right. As we are taking back our power, we are being set free and escaping chains meant to keep us bound, meant to keep us, like I keep saying, isolated, and to ultimately take a lot of us out. We are conquering self-doubt within our own selves, knowing that we are capable of controlling ourselves and not allowing others to control us. This is a solo dolo mission at the end of the day. And yes, we do have hidden helpers, of course, and we do have a spirit team. But at the end of the day, it's all about own one's own self, own strength. So we are releasing self-doubt when it comes to knowing how bold and powerful and strong that we really are, because we are. And I'm really proud of us, Divine Collective, because we're going through a lot. And as their days are I said shorting. Yeah, shorting. I would say that too, mentally. They're shorting out. But as their days are shortening, like I said, they're becoming more obsessive and out of control. So just know that by you releasing your limited beliefs and speaking out into the atmosphere and doing your affirmations, that you're canceling out any form of spelling that they can do, aka speaking words towards you. Those words will be crossed out. So we'll just go ahead and use our Eight of Swords and just slice and dice. Asha. Okay. Got a few more here, y'all. This one is in the upright. We have Knight of Coins, connected to nature. Conservative, practical, hardworking, responsible, protective, defensive, persistent, stubborn, but in a good way most of the time. Patient, loyal, and slow. So how I see this, conservative and practical, connecting to nature. So she's out there, she's wearing her flowy dress. She's on the one side, she's flowing and elegant. And the horse is, I would say, horses are very hardworking and also very protective, as you see. And so her and her horse are out there connecting with nature and soaking up the sun. And less is more sometimes. A lot of people want, the mansions and the gadgets and the gadgets. And at the end of the day, I think that, having that slowed down pace of life gives you time to reflect and appreciate more. And by having less, sometimes you become very practical. You learn to use things that people wouldn't even think of and turn them into practical things that help you out. Even when it comes down to your kiddos, taking something that turns out to be something else that really helps you throughout the day. I find myself doing that a lot. Because of that, and putting in that hard work and finding different ways to, work around things and figure out things, whether it be balancing budgeting, saving, putting things to the side for a rainy day. That's being responsible. It's being proactive. It's also allowing us to be defensive and guarded when it comes to what we're working hard for. Some of us are stubborn, and that can go in a good way for us, especially when it comes to being stubborn about putting our feet down, like I keep saying, and not allowing toxic people back towards our way. Not now, not ever. A lot of us have been loyal to a lot of unloyal people with a lot of fake love. And so, because of that, we know how to work off of the basic necessities in life, while people are out there trying to inherit and take over and conquer to make gains in life. We learned to, I guess I would say, be in the natural with the things of life. And when you don't have a lot, you do have to work extra hard. And that horse right there, though, the horse is a hard worker and a boss, just like she is. And horses throughout history have helped to gain a lot of monetary on farms, as far as construction. A lot of people from my family know where I'm going with this story. But anywho, I'll put the subliminals behind me and move on. On the flip side of this, for the Knight of Coins, these people are lacking direction. They're feeling stuck still. They're very irresponsible, as you can see. A lot of us that had inheritances and land and stuff like that left to us, people in our families, they took over it, and it wasn't left to them in the first place because, as we see now, they were super irresponsible with the funds and with the direction of generational wealth. Um, so now, because of that, they're unstable. They're feeling impatient. They didn't tie up their loose ends. They're feeling stifled. And like I said, on both ends, we're both bored. I'm going to put Miss Lady and that beautiful horse back in the upright. Who do we have here? Seven of Swords. And I know exactly who this is. Not what it seems. I've had encounters with a few of these. Cowardly lions, false pretenses, carrying things away, sneaky betrayal, getting away, self-interest, strategic, cheating, lying, mask. Yes, for a lot of us divine feminines, we are leaving or have left toxic relationships, and a big congratulations again to you guys for having that courage to step away and not being stuck in old ways as far as family and marriage and stuff like that. Excuse me, confirmation. Because a lot of these Seven of Swords energies were being sneaky, and we're ultimately going to, as you see, put all those swords on our backs because of them trying to be strategic when it came to us and our lives and trying to take our lives. Their masks have completely fallen off, and that has been divine intervention. And for us, I'm not going to stay too focused on this Seven of Swords, but for us, we are straightening the record, the Most High is straightening the record, and the ancestors are definitely straightening the record. Because of that, they're getting caught. They're going to have to confess one way or another, whether they confess to us or whether they confess in the upper room. They will be confessing. Some of them are feeling remorse. Most of them are feeling remorse because they didn't get away with what they were doing. Their strategies did not work. It's time for them to come clean. And their conscience is being pricked. A lot of them are having sleepless nights and being haunted at this time. For this one, I'm just going to throw this one over here. Next card, Three of Wands. Manifest your dreams, Divine Collective. We're manifesting. We're having big developments. Time for travel and pleasure. We are working. And some of us are choosing work or love. Some of us are getting both, though, so don't even worry about that. We're all leveling up and we're progressing in a forward movement. Congratulations to those who are in new divine unions and partnerships. It's definitely time for jet life for a lot of us that have been stuck in cycles of being stagnant and no forward movement. Ashiel. For them, for Karmic Veil, lack of foresight, continued lack of foresight. They never had any foresight, which is why they're in the predicaments that they're in right now. So because of that, continued restrictions, returning home. A lot of them will be returning home in more than one facet. Let me just say that. Feeling stalled, postponed, regression from the aggression, inhibited, having lack of progress, and thinking small. Next card. Ten of Coins, a family legacy. As I said earlier, wealth, patriarch, domestic duty, lineage, buying a house, image, privilege, security, estate. As I said, a lot of us, for on the flip side of this, are illies. They were holding on to old money. A lot of them married for money. Now they're finding themselves bankrupt from contracts that they signed that weren't cashable at the bank. Monies that were inherited or that were meant for us to inherited, they will be losing all that. Because of that, there's family feuds going on. There's money concerns. A lot of people's bank accounts are being frozen. They're not having any financial gains. They're definitely having financial loss. But because of that and that greed, we are back to restoring generational wealth that was completely used in vain. We will now be able to take the curse off of that money and be the new patriarchs of our family, because a lot of the patriarchs in our family ended up being evil, to put it simply, just complete evil, and portrayed themselves to be lovers of God, but they were just lovers of their God, which would be themselves, because they have God complexes. So, as you see, looks like a family of status. They have their very beautiful dogs. Looks like they are maybe going on a duck hunt. That sounds fun. Just looking very prim, proper, and like they're in their royal place. Next, in the downrights, of course, with the Page of Wands. Lack of self-confidence. Still out of ideas, but they're still trying to formulate those plans as far as it comes to coming towards us, especially those that, we might have restraining orders on. So, they're sending in other little roaches to, try and push the limits with us. Being pessimistic, they're having self-limited beliefs. They're definitely being hasty. Up and down the street being hasty. Might want to slow down. Their energy has been redirected. That's because they're not able to siphon off of our energy any longer. And they definitely need to find a new path quickly and expeditiously. In the upright, energetic powerhouse, lovable root, exciting plans, charismatic, good news, creative, playful, traveler, childlike, free thinker. That's exactly what I was saying for us, you guys. It doesn't matter how old you are in this Page of Wands energy, especially if your whole life you've been bound by demonic entities, whether it be family, associates, so-called friends, and especially those exes. Just know that a lot of us purposefully were kept in a childlike state on both ends by the Most High and by family growing up until now, because of being in that childlike energy. Like I said, no matter how old you are, it really did preserve us, and it kept us in a playful, imaginary state. And that, for the karmics, unknowingly, was part of us transmuting that negative energy into synergy. And so because of that, we are still childlike. So therefore we are still creative and imaginative. So we are, like it says, energetic powerhouses, especially for ones of us that have broken chains and been freed finally. It is time to use those creative resources and creative mind, I guess, projections towards ourselves that we've had for our whole life. It's time for us to use those and just travel with it in multiple ways, and allow ourselves to be free thinkers and not allow anybody to ever think for us ever again. I shall. Next card, we have the Five of Cups. Unwelcome change. They're still in grief, sadness, loss. A lot of people are mourning right now. A lot of people are going to be seeing, unfortunately, loss in threes. It's unfortunate. It really is, because at the end of the day, it didn't even have to be like this if people would have just, stayed in their lane and followed their intuition, and on top of that, followed the Most High. I don't understand why a lot of religious people think that by doing evil things that they're gonna receive good rewards. That's not how it works. And if they were really true followers of the Most High God, then the unaliving and the stealing and the destroying wouldn't even be going on, right? So I mean, oh well, for their grief right now, and for their sadness, and for their baggage, because we've taken off all the bags, like I've stated, and dropped them off right back to senders. And because of them not wanting to change themselves or take part in changing the world for the good, this is how they're looking. And they're going to continue to look like that. And that's just their own fault. On the flip side, we are overcoming despair, forgiveness, accepting change, ready to move on, healing, letting go. That is for sure the energy of us just letting it go and letting it be, and releasing into the waves and letting the water do what it does. Water is it's a yin yang. Water can rage or water can be calm. It can help you float or it can drown you. And so a lot of people are drowning right now from the waves that they try to throw us in. And unbeknownst to them, a lot of us are mermaids and mermen, and we have our tridents, and we swim with the sharks and all of that. So them trying to do all that just really sunk them. We have the sun. I love this card. Just have fun, count your blessings, play, authentic self, permission slip, supremely optimistic, and the Most High is saying yes. Just have fun, like I said, that childlike state that we have stayed in up until current. We're counting our blessings, giving gratitude to the Most High for protection and for projection as far as our life's paths. We are given permission to be freely, uniquely ourselves. And because of that, it has brought in a lot of optimism for us. Continue to be your authentic self and stay in that childlike state. Stay riding off in the sun, young energies. There is no flipped side to this card, and that's why I love this card. We are showing radiant energy, having an energy rush, feeling happiness, feeling free, optimism again, positivity, warmth, vitality, success, truth, and the answer is still yes. Keep galloping into the sun, you guys. Last card that we have, another one of my favorites, the Ace of Cups, which is for all of us, divine or masculine. It's time for reflection. As I said, water does a lot. It also reflects. Holding back repression, tune into your tuition, taking care of yourself and self-love. We are no longer going to be showing aggression, even though people are still trying it with us and coming boldly with their aggressiveness. A lot of us are staying into a centered state of being and withholding, because don't let us quiet ones fool you. We can be as gentle as a bluebird, or we can be that mighty lion when needed. But a lot of us are holding back, and a lot of us are and have been putting up with a lot, and the Most High knows that. So also, it's time for taking care of ourselves and focusing on ourselves so that we can take care of our babies, so that we can take care of those that we do love around us, and so that we can also, when we do step into divine unions, that we're able to not have that reflection of what tried to take us down and bring us down and take us out. Taking care of ourselves is also by having those boundaries, having that intuition within yourself, the knowing of having your guard up when needed with people who have no good intent being in your energy in the first place. At the end of the day, self-love comes above all, before anything else. How are you going to love anybody else or love doing anything else if you don't love what's in you? On the flip side of this card, overflowing love, and that's from the Most High trickling on down, you guys. bliss, romantic success, new romance, flowing emotion. This is it. Joy, as you can see, the water is spouting. Mystical. I love it. Water on top of water. As above, so below. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Divine tribe, hang in there. And just know that the Most High has you. I love you guys. I hope that you have a very blessed day. Love and light.